Dang, you heard that?
Yeah, just started recording a few
Everybody in the
minutes
comment
ago.
sections are like, I agree with him, I agree with him. Yes, I'm black and he's totally right. Oh, I'm black and I can tell you I 100% agree with him.
I feel like more people agree rather than actually state their own opinion.
People what?
I think people agree too much. They
Yeah,
rather agree rather than state their own opinion. It's
yeah.
it's why
I
like
mean, well, if your opinion's the same as his, then you can just say I agree, you know?
true, true, but like you have people that are like, oh yeah, I agree, and then some people just agree just so that they don't have to take any heat.
Yeah, now and yep, yeah.
That's why like
Yeah,
I'm
I know
not.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm not like too keen on the just
Because
saying, "Oh, I
anybody can
agree."
really say that, and then you can make people like you for that,
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I would call a yes man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Rick Shady, and we are doing some
Heyo!
we are doing something absolutely awesome. We have finally started a podcast.
Hey!
Would you like
We
to
did it!
yes, would you like to do the honors as to, introducing as to what this podcast will be?
Well, this podcast will be answering a series of questions of our own opinion. We're gonna just be talking about the situation that's currently happening right now, and what's happening around the world, basically. And it's in our country, the United States. We have a lot of things going on, you know?
Yeah.
Even a global pandemic, and we're pretty much we're gonna go more in depth into this, but it's not only about that, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, Even though that global pandemic is affecting all of us, we have some other problems, and it's kind of crazy how we have a whole pandemic going on, and things still happen, you
Right.
know, and life's still happening, and it's like a pandemic cannot stop racism,
Right.
no matter what happens, you know,
Yeah.
and that's
And
kind of sad.
it
Even in them zombie apocalypse movies, the zombies aren't a problem. It's the people.
yeah, 'cause like what's it called? In every other show that I've watched, especially The Walking Dead, there's always conflict within the group that's supposed to be working together to survive. It's like, dude, do you not see like dead people coming to eat your brains, bruh? It's like, no, no, he, uh, I can't trust a woman to hold my gun. I can't trust a black man to build this, to help me build this. I can't trust a black person to help me, um, fight these things without thinking that he's gonna shoot me because he's black or whatever. Um, I think like this has been a deeply rooted issue for centuries. It's been a deeply rooted issue for centuries,
Yeah.
and this happens especially in America. Um, I'm trying to get my words out. In America, and even before America was established, it's been a constant thing to where there's always been racism. Racism is the core of our country, not freedom. Freedom was like was an afterthought. You know, when the first laws of America were written, they were meant for rich old white people. They weren't meant for the black guy that they have in the plantation sweating all day getting whipped for nothing. Um, and it's continued throughout history, especially in during the civil rights um, era, and this feels more so like civil rights, but kind of like the opposite, in which the protesters, well, there's peaceful protesters, but there's people that are like causing more destruction than they are causing, that they are than they're causing more destruction than promoting peace. They're not exactly
Yeah.
letting their voice be heard. They're just they're just reevaluating why, you know, police officers act the way why police officers are so like uptight when it comes to people in general. Because you have
Yeah.
these stupid like dumbass what's it called, immature kids just like running around at night of a peaceful protest, and it's more than likely during the night of a peaceful protest, in which they take advantage of the fact that there is something great going on, and they start looting, and they start rioting, and they start like causing chaos for no absolute reason. First question is, tell a time that you experienced racism.
Oh,
You go first,
oh.
unless you want me to
Tell
go
a
first.
time that I've experienced racism. Oh, tea. Are we spilling tea now? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
we're spilling tea.
Alright, you go first.
Okay, so back in freshman year, I went to marching band. Right, I was part of the marching band. Our school was known for the marching band, but they didn't have woodwinds. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go in with tubas. So I'm
Yeah.
in the tubas, and no one knows that I'm mixed. They just think I'm black with like a very white-like voice.
And
um,
I hate that. It's like, no, white. White, like, what does a white voice sound like, you know?
exactly. They
And, you know, it's vice versa. It just depends on the person, anything, basically. Does that mean all black people have deep voices? Heck no. You
right,
know?
like they like I remember the tuba
Honestly,
section.
I can break that stereotype. I got a friend. He's black, and when we first heard him talk, we didn't know if it was because of puberty or because of, oh, my bad. No, what am I doing? No. Okay, we didn't know if it was because of puberty or just that's his voice. But he did have like a high pitched voice. It would go high pitch to low pitch. It probably was because of puberty, but it was kind of funny because it wasn't as deep or anything like that. It matched who he was, you know, as a person, what he looked like. Sometimes it doesn't. Voices are just a crazy thing, you know?
Yeah. And they like call me like the whitest guy in the band. Like they would like when they found out that like I was mixed, they legit called me a zebra. um, I know it's funny now, but like I was pissed during that day.
No, I would,
Then
yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
know
and
what you mean.
then the next day I was like called an Oreo. I'm like, what the frick?
Bro, you know how many times I've heard that?
Like
Bro,
yeah,
Oreo. Like, oh my goodness, like, I was like standing. It was either like this white girl standing in the middle, or I was standing in the middle. But either way, it was just our group of friends, and they were like, "Look, we made an Oreo," because we were hugging our friend.
oh my
But then
goodness.
again, I am not as like dark to make an Oreo. Like, I don't think Oreos are that like I mean, they have vanilla Oreos, but then again, it's like I don't belong in either of those two categories. So, like, I was legit the Oreo. It was kind of
Yeah,
funny and weird, but like, yeah.
yeah, like they called me an Oreo for the fact that like I was quote unquote black on the outside. I looked black, but in the
And white.
inside, I talk white, and I quote unquote, and they said like I quote unquote act white, and I don't bob my head like a black person would. Like, bruh,
Hey,
just 'cause I'm listening to like a song and I'm like not bobbing it with like the beat, I'm bobbing it with the flow of the person's rapping or whatnot, it doesn't make me any less black than you, right?
exactly.
There's no such
I
thing
mean,
as
just
like
like
level of
your
blackness.
your DNA, where you come from, who you are, shouldn't matter how you act.
Right.
Really, that's just something, you know, just something you have that makes up you. The person who you are inside of like inside, without the exterior, the flesh or anything, is it, that's who truly you are. Like, we could put you in another body. I mean, still, you're still gonna be the same person. Actually,
Yeah.
hold on. Hold that back. Maybe, maybe not.
depending on
because you know how society
experiences.
is today and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
like, you know, your interests, who you are, like get all the other factors out of the way. Just you are you, you know.
yeah,
It just shouldn't matter about the outside.
yeah. And it
Like,
was,
don't let your race restrict you from doing what you want to do, you know,
yeah,
or what you like. I mean, obviously, you're not. If you want to say the N word, that's totally different. That is about race, but that's still like a whole nother category. It's like no one should say it. It's inappropriate
right.
because we shouldn't have been judging each other by our skin color in the first place.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
it was funny because like when I was thinking about it, it's like, bro, you expect me to act ghetto because in ghetto and like, do you expect people that are black to act ghetto? Like they're from the hood or
Yeah.
whatnot? Like, dude, you are halfway backwards, man. But yeah, that was
And you know, I used to think like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I not who they say I am? 'Cause I don't act that way, you know? And
right,
then people start to feel the need to think, oh, I need to act like this 'cause I am that. Like, oh, yes, I am black, and the rest of the kids in my class are always asking me why I'm not acting black. I know I'm, and then they make you feel less than what you really are.
right.
And you're like, oh shoot, in order to be with that group, you're gonna have to change who you are for a stereotype, which
Yeah,
isn't okay at all.
never is. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was one instance in which like I had to face racism to that degree. And
They
ironically,
called you an Oreo?
yes, and a zebra.
Oh.
Yeah, like in basically they just
Dang, like honestly, they were so they were seriously
yes,
like picking on you like that,
yes, and they were
and that
like,
probably made you feel horrible.
yeah, 'cause like I thought of them as my friends at first, right?
Mhm.
Like I was cools with them until that happened, and because like they try to mask it as like, oh, we're just messing with you, we're just messing with you. Like, dude, no, that's not cool. Like my mom's biracial, and she had to deal with
Mhm.
that back in high school and whatnot. So it's like,
Yeah, and your mom's
it,
beautiful.
yeah,
She's beautiful.
yeah. So yeah, that was like one instance in which I had to face like racism, and sadly and
Yeah.
ironically, it was with black people.
Dang. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody can show racism, really. And
exactly. I just find it
whether you're
ironic.
black, yellow, pink, brown, purple,
Yeah,
green, I don't know, any color, like if you're prejudiced or you just hate another person's skin, like that is that is sad,
yeah.
you
Like
know?
I find it ironic because of Black Lives Matter movement because we still have people like this. But anyways, what
Yeah,
was
some people are like, "Oh, you can't be racist. I'm black." It's like, "What?"
yeah. But
Anybody could be
anyways,
racist.
yeah.
Um, well, for me, honestly, it was there's a couple of times I can tell you, but like it was when I'll just show you this one time where I was in elementary school, and this is where I really like felt some sort of like prejudice like against me and this unfairness. And you know, I was in elementary school, so I loved everybody. Everybody was like the same for me. Like the teachers are amazing. Everybody, like you know, because I was in elementary school and they were all acting nice. And it was the lady in the front office, and I just noticed I've been treated differently than from the other kids that didn't look like me. And you know, kind of like made me feel bad because I was like, why am I being treated like this? Why are you, you know, when you have to look at me, why am I any different from the kids that you're looking at?
Right.
You know, and I was like, it it didn't phase me as much, but I noticed it. I mean, I didn't care, but it gave me this like this vibe, like this bad vibe. Like every time we were Like I just didn't want to be in the front office anymore, you know?
Right.
And I had to go to the front office every day to get picked up by my parents, by my mom. And it was just like that, you know?
Yeah.
Um like for example, so the lady in the front office wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't always racist, but you know, we I'm gonna just assume that she was racist. But the lady before her, she treated my brother and I the same as everybody else, you know? She would be, oh, good morning, oh, how are you, this and that, and like we loved her.
Yeah.
We still do love her. But then they switched the lady, and I could just see the difference in how she treated us versus the other kids. And the parents and the people that picked them up, like whenever my mom picked me up, she changed her attitude, and you could tell when you have a fake smile, like, oh, have a good day, and then boom, back to like this frowning face, hating
Yeah.
another person, like from the, you know, kind of like behind their back.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and then my mom kind of felt that same way, and she was like, oh, well, um, she was like, you know, that's kind of odd, you know, why someone would do that. Um, and you know, you could really see it. It just looked like she was utterly like disgusted by like us, and we
Yeah.
did not like nothing at all. We were just, we were good. We were just, you know, being kids, waiting patiently for our parents to pick us up. Um, like, let's see.
That's crazy
Well,
because
she is a white lady, yes, but you know, I really have nothing against her. Like, I don't hate her. I don't, you know, it was just her problem that she didn't like me. It wasn't my problem, you know.
it was just that
Um,
aura that she gave. It was like a kind of bad vibes. He's like
yeah,
just like
like let's say I would come in, she would just like stare us down, like if we were bad kids, like if we were gonna steal something or if we were gonna write on something, like she would just stare us down. And I mean, I had white friends too in the office, right? Like
yeah.
kids would wait with us, um, but you can just like tell like the switch, something that flipped, um, like how she treated the other kids, you know, white
Right.
kids versus my brother and I. You know, we looked different. I and why we saw her at the store, you know, one day. I've never seen her really out of school, but it wasn't that she ignored us, but it was like almost the same kind of vibe. Like, but the thing was, you know, she wasn't hurting us, she wasn't doing anything bad, but you can just kind of see that um that vibe. It was just kind of like negative and not so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get you 'cause like it's like when you you're just like trying to have a nice day, right? And you see someone,
Yeah.
you can tell whether or not they like you at all.
Yeah. I mean, it truly makes you feel kind of bad. It's like, is there something wrong with me? Like, why? What's wrong with me? And then you start to almost like not hate yourself for who you are, but it's like, why does it have to be this way? If I wasn't like this, would it be different? You know, what did I have to change about myself?
Yeah, like I had a math teacher back in sixth grade that was like that. It's like, whenever, cause I have a habit of raising my hand a lot to participate in the classroom. You know this,
Mm.
but um, back in because math was never my subject. It never has been my subject. I struggle with math, um, and what really like made me not like math was how like this was how like my sixth grade teacher, when I switched teachers, whenever I got something wrong or whenever I like made a mistake, she would stare me down as if I killed her kid and just like say and just like make me feel so stupid, just make me feel so bad, right? It was like a degrading feeling versus like how she
Yeah.
treated someone else, right? It's just that
Yeah.
like I don't like I don't want to associate it with that, but like
My man.
I
Uh-huh.
you're fine. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, right? Like she was an
Yeah.
old white lady, right? Short,
Why do I
and
keep doing this? Sorry.
yeah, she was an old
Mhm.
white lady and short, and like she always had a bad attitude. It's like a bad attitude. But like when it came to like certain kids, she would be like, "Oh yeah, hi Heather, yeah, hi Matthew, yeah." It was like, "Oh, Philip, are you serious? You really got that wrong? I have to go over it again, just so you can just like understand." I'm just like sitting here like I don't
That's
know what
her
you're talking
job.
about. Yeah,
That's
I'm like,
horrible.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you're talking. I'm not following. I'm writing the notes down. It's like it caused
I
me
mean,
to
and you
like,
could definitely see a favoritism like with some of these teachers.
yeah, it's like it caused me to be like a note hoarder. Like I have so many notes from way back in like middle school, thinking that I'm gonna need it for high school because of that crap. I was so scared of getting something wrong.
Yeah.
And it feels degrading sometimes, like when I am wrong about something. It's like, oh crap, I failed and the world will end, because like how she would just stare me down and make me feel so low because
Yeah.
of like some one math
That's
problem.
messed up. That's not right
It isn't.
at all.
So
I mean,
let's,
there's a few other times where I've experienced racism. Just that I think that one right there is something I can definitely uh say it's you could see it within our like school system.
yeah. Um,
And how do you define if a person's racist or not? I mean, I wasn't I was young, you know, and having like there's like almost like a difference. You know, there's you got like favoritism, you have racism, then you have preference.
yeah.
Would you say like racism is like a preference or like favoritism? Because for me, I since I was little, I just thought she had like I guess favorites, so to say, because I was experiencing a difference.
I
And she didn't do anything bad to me, which I thought was like, I mean, it doesn't have to take something to do something bad to me to say it's racism, but since I was young, I, I was like thinking, you know, oh, well, she just didn't like me, or she just didn't, you know, um, I wasn't her favorite, and move on.
yeah. Like I feel like there I feel like racism can be both, like favoritism and preference, because like you can like racism can be like you purposely going out your way without trying to make it obvious that you like these groups of people more so than this one kid that's not, doing anything bad. He or she's doing whatever he or she's supposed to be doing, right? But you just like purposely just go out your way to you know, forget about him or her. And then preference is like who you prefer. It's like that I don't
Yeah.
I, I feel like preference and favoritism are kind of like both in the same, two in the same, in my opinion.
Preference and favoritism. Well,
Yeah,
for me, it's like a preference. Um, favoritism is like it doesn't have to even do with race, you know?
yeah,
It's like something's your favorite. They stand out and it's something you are attracted to that you adore. It's something that you love. Like
uh,
let's see, cuz you hear favorite in the word and favoritism is like something out of others, you know? I
yeah,
could say gaming is my favorite. It's favorite, but I show like favoritism towards, let's say, Fortnite rather than any other game.
yeah,
Like Fortnite's the one that stands out. That's mine. But if I had a preference, it's like even if I didn't have it and I do prefer it, I would be okay with everything else, you know.
yeah.
And then it's like racism. It's like me talking crap or down or not treating things right between, let's say, my let's say Call of Duty Ghost, right?
Yeah.
Like, I absolutely hate that game. It's horrible. I mean, not for
But you
real,
love
but like,
Black Ops
it is a
2.
pretty bad game out of all the other games, you know, Call of Duties.
Yeah.
My favorite, Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
It's something I also prefer, but it's I guess there are kind of like little things like that if we compare it to race a little bit, but
I like that game comparison, especially since we're gaming channels. Um,
yeah. I
'Cause it
think
makes
I've
sense.
also been like you said, um, there is racist like you said about, you know, black people being racist to you. Anybody can be racist. Same with here with me. There have been black people who have been racist to me. You know, it's like even though you could be a part of them, you have either like a blackness within you, or if you're just from the same origin or whatever, it's you're still gonna have like colorism and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like in almost like every country too.
Yeah.
Like for example in India, like if you're lighter skinned, then it's almost like they favor you more. Or in like China, you know,
Well,
if
and
you're
like,
more indigenous looking, they're not gonna, you know, favor that. Or like in Korea and also in other Hispanic cultures and like countries, the lighter you, it's always been that thing. The lighter you are, the better you are.
they'd be confused when they see you.
I mean,
You'd have to sit in the cave for a little bit before you go out.
I would have to sit. You're right. I would have to sit in the cave for for a little bit, and yeah, that is definitely true.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that one time after Spanish class. After what was it, Spanish 2? Probably Spanish 2.
Mhm.
We were talking about like, nationalities and like colors and whatnot. And you mentioned that in Latin America, the lighter you are, the better you're treated, and that's
Yeah.
almost, yeah, that's it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is. It is like a favoritism. It in those countries. Yeah.
So,
It's always been like darker skinned wasn't wasn't glorified at all. You know.
uh,
And it's kind of sad because skin, you know,
you're born
of
with
all
it.
colors, it's beautiful. Like, yeah, everyone's born with skin. Like, even if I had darker skin, like
And
it'd be I'd feel pretty messed up if someone treated me different, you know?
yeah,
Like, what if it was vice versa? What if lighter skin was just the worst, you know?
you'd have to stay
I'd
in the
probably feel
beach all
really
day.
bad. Huh?
You'd have to stay in the beach all day. You won't be able to go back to the cave.
I know, right? Suntan lotion. Bro, I
Oh
can literally
man.
get super dark with suntan lotion. And the thing is, I don't even use suntanning at all. Suntan lotion, like it's just boom,
That's awesome.
natural. And
That
it's
is
like I
awesome.
don't get sunburnt either, even though I can be as light as a white person.
Same. So like for me, when I was little, you
I
see
don't know.
that?
Do you think? I'm sorry, just the question out of nowhere. Do you think? Okay, just by my skin and how light it can get versus how dark it can get. Do you think that would be even possible
For
for me? Because usually people with lighter skin are sunburnt, or people with darker skin won't get as light, but you know,
I
get
think
darker.
I
Like, did
think
you
be
think it was possible for me to get that dark and super light at the same time?
act
Because you've seen me, right?
yeah, yeah, I have. And I was like, I never knew until I saw, but like now that I know, I would I would highly doubt with your chameleon powers that you'd be able to get sunburned because
Yeah.
of the amount of melanin that you start to produce when you're outside,
Mhm.
and melanin is supposed to protect you, right, from like the sun.
Yeah.
So therefore, with that being said, you kind of like are immune to the sun in a way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, it was kind of interesting because it's funny because like my grandma is very light, and she's like, and she has mixed babies. My grandmother, my mom, my dad, well, my dad, and my mom is like a medium skin tone color, but she couldn't. I don't think she can get as dark as my brother and I, because she's always the same color, you
Yeah,
know,
like my mom.
like a caramel tannish, not super. I mean, I guess you can get light too. It goes with anybody, you know. Anybody can get as their lightest. Anybody can get their darkest, and then you just got that norm where you're just outside every day.
Yeah, like my mom
But there's like
can
two extremes, you know.
yeah, like my mom, she's very light, right? But when she starts to like to go outside a lot more, she starts to get a tan, and it's like your light, right? It's like how your
Oh,
light,
yeah, yeah.
that's her almost like her darkest point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So I can possibly pass as a white person with a tan.
but my mom's not white.
No, no, I know your mom's not white,
I
but
mean,
like there are people like her that
right?
are white.
Yeah,
Like I could tell your mom's not white, but like there are people like her that are like white, light skinned in general. Light skin doesn't mean you're white, you know.
right.
Because I mean, you could have black people. You know, black people comes in all shades and all
Yeah,
colors.
like my
And
sister.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can literally be very, very light and still be black.
right.
Um, but for for example, like you said, I think it was like in the winter time. It was funny because like I dressed quote unquote like one of the white girls at our school,
Heavy sweaters.
and no, more like the summertime white.
uh, crop tops.
And I wasn't as, but I
Yeah.
wasn't as dark then because it was almost like the winterish, which didn't make sense. I dressed like in the summertime, but it was still winterish. I guess it was maybe the springtime maybe, with the transition, and it was just a nice day outside.
Right.
And we barely outside because it's cold. Now we finally go out, and I'm sparkly in the sun, lighter skin, and I see myself next to these girls, and from a distance, it's like I probably could pass as a white person
You could.
with privilege, yay! And then after that, it's like, whoop, I look
Whoa.
different, obviously. So you come close, and it's like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah. Let me take those privileges real quick. You don't need them. You don't.
Alright.
You don't deserve them, quote unquote. But
It's
next,
like my features, I guess, like in my face, aren't as
quote unquote white.
European.
Yeah,
People say
European.
European. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know why I said white, but European. Yeah. There you go.
Well, yeah, you have people from different sizes of country, different countries, and
Mhm.
they look different,
Yeah.
I guess I have like a mesh because I do have a nose like my grandma, but then when you look straight onto me, it looks like it's pushed in, but it's not really.
um. But next question. Dang it.
Yes.
Hold up.
My
Next
bad.
question is no, you're good. You're absolutely fine.
What's up?
How do you feel about people using black on black crime as a rebuttal?
Mm.
I'll let
So
you go
could you
first.
explain to our audience black on black crime?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, black on black crime is what you love to listen to in hip hop.
Mhm.
Basically is what you love to listen to in rap nowadays. But in all seriousness, black on black crime is basically when either a black person shoots a black person robs a black person. Basically crime, but like within the black community, in simple terms. And
Yeah.
people use that as rebuttal towards uh, what was it? Yeah, they use that as a rebuttal towards black people wanting like justice and peace, and you know they don't want police, quote unquote, killing them, while generalizing that every other every police officer is after them, wants to kill them, which is not true. And then you have people that are um, what's it called, rebuttaling that with, well, you kill your own people, you hurt your own people, you rob your own people. So it's that clash of people not listening to
Yeah.
each other, and two radical groups just like coming
I
at each
mean,
other.
what if you flipped it, right?
Right.
Instead of black on black crime, you have white on white crime. It's like, oh, look at all these white people. You're shooting yourselves. What? Like,
Yeah.
what?
You're robbing yourselves. What? You're beating each other up.
Yourselves. Just because you are the same or one race as another person doesn't mean you know that person or is your brother. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, we share something, but we're not all the same. That goes
Yeah.
with the stereotype. You know, if we're making these stereotypes, oh, black people are loud, black people are this, white people are that, white people are that, we must be a family, right? We must be all related. What? What? No. No. I mean,
No.
we're all our individual selves, right? We don't have
Yeah.
to act like another person, another thing, to say who we are, like as our own race, our own, uh, um,
Nationality, basically.
what's it called, nationality, anything. Like that just makes that makes no sense.
It's
It's
just
like, it's funny because it's like with, if you see like a group of black people or a group of white, just any same group, are you just gonna assume that they all know each other? Like,
yeah, it's just like saying,
you know what
it's
I
like,
mean?
yeah, it's like saying, oh, that police officer just committed a murder, and it's, racially based. Every other cop is racist now. It
Right?
it's generalizing, you know. It's
People love to generalize everything,
right, just to like,
everything.
yeah, because they don't know what else to say. They don't think. People aren't thinking. They're being idiots. I'm sorry. I'm being candid about this. They're being idiots. And they're not
Yeah.
thinking.
Now, like we were talking about with the race and stuff, yes, you have a preference. Yes, you could be hanging out with these people. You could probably feel more comfortable with them because you probably feel some sort of like the same treatment or either emotion, the same, like you think it's like this person knows me. We,
Yeah.
like you and me, we are relatable. Like,
Yeah.
we are both like multicultural or you're biracial, it's like, oh, okay, I totally agree with you. I felt the same way if, other people blah 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 this about me, and we can totally get each other.
Yeah.
And good thing like I know you as like a good person and stuff.
Yeah.
But like
Same.
let's just say it was totally different, you know, and I meet you guys, it's like, okay, few conversations, this and that, but like we don't truly know each other,
Until we actually
we're
sit down
not
and
brother and
talk.
sister or anything like that.
Right.
Like, we're all still human and we all still have our own choices, like what we want to make, what we want to do in this world. And you aren't going to have those bad people,
Yeah.
Like, we can control ourselves on who we want to be.
But we can't
But
control
other
others and
people,
their
it's like, we
actions.
can't control what they're going to do,
How
That one individual is not my brother. And I'm not going to view him as the whole entire, I'm not gonna like use that one person and define a whole entire group of people,
Yeah.
especially like within my race, and not say like all Hispanics are this, all blacks are like this, all whites are like this.
Yeah.
Anybody can do whatever they want. Why would you generalize a whole group and just say, oh, but you do it to each other? Like, what? Anybody can do whatever they want.
To each other. Yeah.
Like, to each other. That's like saying humans Like, okay, let me just tell you this. Yes, you can do it to each other, but it's literally humans on other humans.
Yeah.
Like, if you just look at it through a standpoint, like, of the world in general, the world's full of different colored people, people of all genders, all everything.
Yeah.
I was gonna say all stereotypes, but no. I mean, you do have those people that want to fit in those stereotypes and think that they're real, and they are. You have some people that just want to make it a reality, and it's like, yeah, sadly they push it on TV. But in general, okay, you
Yeah.
have people. Let's just say they all didn't have a color, right? Just don't look at color at all. Just look at human beings.
Okay.
Human beings have feelings. Human beings think differently. Human beings sometimes think the same, but just in general, if you just see these stick figures living on our earth, there is going to be crime.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter what they look like. I mean, yeah, they could happen to be the same race or gender or whatever, but that doesn't define everybody else. It's like really truly within their heart, like who they are, what they want to be.
Right. They're basically finding someone to blame. They're finding something to blame for what's happening rather than looking at what they could do to help and prevent and influence others rather than take control of their actions. Like, we can't control people, but we can influence others to follow suit. But ultimately, it's their choice to follow suit if they want to or not.
Yeah.
That's why it's important for us to like spread awareness, you know. I've been, throwing in posts here and there about my own thought process because I don't want to get into an argument, right? And I'm not gonna get into an argument because it's pointless. The fact that it's pointless to argue with someone that you don't even know on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, you're arguing with someone on the internet that you don't know. The person probably doesn't even care about you. They're just trying to get their point across.
You're
They're not
just
trying to-
wasting your time. They're probably
you're
not
wa-
going to even,
yeah, you're wasting your time. So just like say what you have to say. Don't exactly, you can respond, but don't go into an argument.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to respond either. You can be like,
Sure.
okay, this person's not worth my time.
True. Like, I saw this one post. It was like LeBron James showing, the piece on, I think it was Beverly Hills, and this one woman like posted like, "Oh, don't give us that peace speech. Our communities are burning." So I posted, "Your communities are burning because you're choosing to burn them."
Eh.
And I was like, and I posted that basically, and I just left it alone. And I just like looked at my phone, and someone responded, "Oh yeah, your last sentence was false. Look at all the wars." So I'm not even gonna go into that. I
Yeah.
said what I said what I needed to say, leave it at that. And then I like have like certain posts, right? And I just leave it at that,
Yeah.
Say what you have to say and leave it at that.
You can
Don't
even mute it, like the notifications, not even
Right.
care.
Right. See, it's about listening. It's about understanding. Like, a YouTuber that I love watching, who's a fighting game YouTuber, Maximilian Dude, he said empathy is the most powerful emotion needed here. People need to show empathy towards each other, because once you show
Love that.
empathy is when you understand someone's point of view and understand someone's feelings.
Yeah.
And people need to show that more than accusing each other, because all we're hearing right now is accusing. That's why
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
all we're hearing now is just accusing. We're just
Oh,
accusing
yeah.
each other.
You see these two sides, and
Yeah.
me, I'm not just gonna choose a side. Like,
Right.
just myself, I'm just, if I don't know more than the other side versus the other side, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make it uneven. I'm gonna see both cases, and I'm gonna show empathy. I'm gonna try to relate to them. I'm gonna try to relate to police. I'm just gonna try to relate to, I was gonna say black people, but people of color. But we're already kind of people of color, so it's just like we know how it feels.
Yeah.
But like also having those situations happen to us, seeing this every day, thinking that could be my brother or my sister. This could be, you know, my friend, anybody that I can know, yeah, it's all good. But then it's like I'm looking at both sides, and in general, like police are not just robots, you know?
Yeah.
There are black police. There are police of every single race, culture, and ethnicity. For one time, I even wanted to be a police officer. But you know what? The reason why was because I know if I was a police, then just thinking to myself, because my mom or my father always talk bad about police. And then I'm like, wow, if police can do this and that to you, hearing these things that's happening, why do they have so much power? And then they're like, they can arrest you. And I'm like, thinking to myself, they can't arrest me if I'm a police, though. You know what I mean? So, like, let's say, so if I were a police, is that the only way I'm safe?
No.
Like, if I was a police, does that mean, like, I could do whatever I want? Hey, I'm a police. But, like, no, that was the reason why, but also the reason why was because in order to stop situations or to change in general, you know, if you want to change something, it's like you have to influence it in small ways. So it's like if I'm a police, like if the police change themselves, it's like it could change everything.
Right.
Like, yeah, police are, people are saying the police are a problem. Yes, they could be the problem. There are police out there that are racist and are like the core of the problem of mistreatment of these people. But then you have police that aren't like that at all. In general, we also have like a corrupt government, right? And I mean, it's shady. Rig shady. Yeah, the government's shady. The government isn't fair at all. I mean, it's not perfect either. And the police are working under that government, which makes the police kind of like a very, like, you know, toned into the dark light, because they're like protecting, so to say, their people, but also the government, you know?
Yeah. They're enforcing what the government wants.
Yeah, and they have to follow directions and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I want to be so much like into the government like that. You know?
Yeah.
Just think about it. Like, the government could basically ruin your whole life. It's scary.
Yeah. And
but in general, like, yeah, I don't. It's like people are always like, "Oh, choose a side, choose a side." Are you? If I'm not for Black Lives, I mean, they're like, if you're not for Black Lives Matter, you're for police, and if you're not for police, you're for Black Lives Matter, and then it's like, what? Why are they? Why does there have to be two sides to this?
Right.
You know? Like, there are two sides, and that's only dividing us even more.
Right.
And if we just all work together, that would just help in general. Like, some police officers that are kneeling, they have their own point of view. They're human too.
Yeah.
I think that's great. But again, if I see like a police, I try to stay my distance. You know, I'm not like, I don't love police. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like
screw 'em.
Whenever the police are there, I always see the police as like, it has a bad connotation to me. Like, it always, I don't know why it always has been, because it's like, when you see those lights, it's like, oh, something bad must be happening. Let's just not go near the police at all. You know?
Or something's bad gonna happen to me. It's that question of like, is something bad gonna happen to me, or what are they having a bad day?
Yeah.
Are they gonna be
like, police are there, first responders, they're for emergencies. They're there to settle things, with quotes, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it must be a very hard job. I can't imagine. You know, it's almost like serving your country, but instead of being out there, you're in like the city. You're managing it's kind of like your little country you're serving.
Yeah. You're serving
but
your country, but like You're trying to enforce laws by still being trying to look fair
that are
to
in the
others.
civilian world.
Yeah, in the
Yeah,
civilian world.
in the civilian world, you're not in like the military, but
Right.
yeah. So, um, yeah, it's like, I was gonna say, some people say F the police, don't F the police, but it's like, it's like, yeah, and nah, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna read something I wrote on my story. What did I write? Wait, who screenshotted this? Was this you? Oh, my girlfriend screenshotted what I said. I said, oh, I said, now I don't trust police. They work for the government. As you can see, our government has done some shady things, and it isn't fair. But what I find beautiful is that police are willing to help with this movement, and they aren't all racist.
Right.
Just like how people of color aren't all thugs. Cough, cough, Mr. President. Because he said something like that, and I was just like, no, wait right there. I'm tired of people asking, which side are you on? Because honestly, I see everyone as a beautiful, precious human being, and everybody needs to be treated the same, no matter what color you are. I'm glad the police are able to help, and that just might be the key. If we work together, we can accomplish big things. Having to take sides will only divide us even more, and it'll create even more hate. Like, I see, you have these sides, and yes, it will create hate. It'll just become greater, and then people choosing a side, boom, boom. And then they almost define you and judge you because either when you haven't chosen a side, it's like you're with them then, you're with them.
Or you're just
but you really gotta really think about it though.
Yeah, like
some people are only one-minded, one-sided. They have like that tunnel vision, but then they're not looking like what else is there like around them. They see
Right.
one thing and they're like, boom, they're all bad. That's the problem. They're all bad. I know the root of the problem now. It's the police. Yes, like, exactly. They're just like, it's the police. That's the problem. And you know what? You could say, yeah, it is the police, but who do the police work for? Look at the government. It's like the police are their pawns in a game of chess. You can knock them out, but it's like you're not gonna change the whole entire government. But like, you know what? We try. It possibly could happen, but it's just so hard. And you know what? You have these pawns, right?
Yeah.
That the government are using. Good job, police. Go ahead and protect us. These people, just have them under control. Here's this, and those are the people that they point for. That's why the pawns are so easy to take out. It's like, boom, okay, they're out, boom. But then what has changed, right?
Nothing.
If you're hating on these pawns, nothing has changed.
And people are
the king and the queen are still protected. Like, like nothing's changed.
Like people are so like focused on wanting to quote unquote get even, and let me see like by like rioting and whatever. And let me read something that I wrote. Let me read something that I wrote on my story. It's there's no such thing as getting even because both sides will always be unbalanced unless you talk things out and show empathy. You have to use your brain.
Oh yeah,
not
I read
your
that.
brawn. Yeah, like people aren't using their brains. They're not thinking about this, right? You're so focused on, oh, I gotta beat up on this officer, or oh, I gotta burn down this Target or CVS.
Bro, and some of these officers aren't even the people that are doing like these things. Some of them genuinely believe what we believe in. Like they believe they don't care about color. Some of them are people of color, you know?
Yeah.
And how are you gonna like bash at this person without even like knowing them, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because, like I said, what if I was a police, right? And I had to do this. The government's telling me to do this. I mean, obviously, if it was my job, I would go help out. But like, I wouldn't do something to degrade another human being because of their skin color. If that was my job, like, that's not the let's just say hopefully the government isn't being like, okay, arrest this black dude because he's black,
Yeah.
and then the police do it. No, I mean that's just the willingness for them. Like that's just them inside. Um, like if the government was telling me to do something other than that, you know, bro, I'm quitting my job. Like if it's going against my moral standards and just what I believe in as a human being, then that's not right.
Yeah. Like
That's why some police are turning in their badges and they're being with the movement.
right.
It's like enough is enough.
Yeah. And you gotta have the respect for that. And now it's like you can't just, ignore. You can't ignore that.
And sometimes that's their only job.
right.
You know?
Right. And
That's their only job.
it is. And people don't understand that, like you said, not all police officers are robots. People think that they're all robots and they're just, all working to, make life a living heck for all people of, no
Yeah.
matter what you look like, right? Especially for black people, apparently. But it's not like
Mhm.
that. It's like the chief of police in Houston said, the guy that I sent you, that was like an immigrant.
Yeah.
He was like, don't follow the bull crap. I was like, he said, don't follow the bull
Yeah.
crap. We built this country, but we can't let bull crap like this burn it down. The
Yeah.
system has always been
Like
faulty.
you're destroying something you've built
Yeah, you're burning your
and
home.
your home, what you call home, and now it's turning ugly. And for what? So the police can do something about it? Like, do you want the police to fight you? Do you want, like, it's like, oh yeah, sometimes I see them taunting the police. Like, oh, do this to me. You can't, or Black Lives Matter. If you do this to me, you're racist. Bro,
Yeah,
you're taunting the police now.
yeah.
The police, what do you expect? I mean,
You're diminishing
they
the
can
point
arrest you
then.
for so many reasons.
Yeah. Like,
Like
they're
they
giving you
can
a
literally
reason to.
think of something, like all these laws, think of something at the top of their head, disrespecting the police, doing this, doing that. They can arrest you like off the bat.
Right. And for what though?
They're
'Cause-
humans too, right?
Yeah.
And they gotta have some self-control. Some of them don't. And I've seen people like this too. Like, oh, if this happens, I'm gonna fight them. Oh, blah blah blah, this and that. Not just a. No, those. Just imagine that person being a police. Like, you have people that have different personalities. You don't really know everybody's personality, and you could just be messing with the wrong one.
Right.
You know. Like burning down what you call home does not seem right.
Yeah. And
And you're doing that, but like, it's like, I was gonna say it's a good and a bad thing, but then again, it's kind of sad.
I don't see
Because
it
like,
as a
look,
good thing.
if you burn down something, and if you really think about it, and you start creating a riot, and it's just happening, there is no way that the government can ignore that. Just saying that right now. In a peaceful protest, yeah, the government could do something, but they can also be like, you know what, we're not going to change anything. But when you do something violent, that like sparks, that like creates something. And man, it's bad that it's creating a hate and something like, it's bad that it's creating a hate and like this rivalry between police officers and other people. But then again, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are other ways to deal with this, but having some sort of violence you can't not see it, you know? Like our president sees this now. And
Yeah.
that could create a change. Like what's going to happen? Like what are we going to do about it?
I mean, I highly doubt that he's gonna do anything smart. But
Yeah.
for me personally, like, I don't see anything good in rioting. I honestly don't. Because
Yeah.
what we're doing it, because like I'll bring in the pandemic right now. People are having trouble finding jobs. Last time I checked, there was 16 million people unemployed, and that number's growing, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta protect you gotta keep the virus from spreading. not only are people in those quote unquote billion-dollar industries, right? That was probably someone's 9 to 5 job that they needed to support their family. You
Yeah.
know,
No, and I
people
totally agree with that.
and
Yeah. I'm not saying
yeah,
rioting is good. I said it's a good and a bad thing,
I
but
know
for the good, it's I'm not saying it's good, but it's something the government can't
they can't.
unsee.
Yeah, they can't
Like
ignore
it's
that.
like, bro, if we do something, we're definitely gonna catch their attention now, right? Like
I mean, yeah, they
you
can't
know,
ignore it. They can't ignore it, but it kind of it fails to make the point. They can't ignore it, but it fails to make the point for change because all they're doing is they may try to like say, oh yeah, we're supporting Black Lives Matter, but what people are seeing are a bunch of people causing violence, and they don't see their message.
yeah,
They just see the destruction, and
yeah,
that's what I don't like. It's like you can't make a point by causing destruction. It's like what I said. It's like these people are acting like a 2-year-old that doesn't want to eat their peas, right? So they destroy their block tower or whatever. Like,
yeah. It's
what
like,
if?
yeah, like having a temper tantrum. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see. Yeah, exactly. It's like sometimes, when you're mad, you make bad choices, and
right.
and it's not good to make a choice without having a clear head or the right mind. And
Yeah,
so yeah, like when I was little, I would get mad and do things. Like let's just say you're so mad you punch the wall, right? And you
yeah,
break your finger. It's
yeah.
like at that moment, what did you gain anything from that at
No,
all?
you just
Like
gained
yeah,
the
you
only
let it
thing.
all out, but you damaged the wall and you
And you
hurt your
damaged
finger
yourself.
doing it.
Yeah,
Like
like I remember.
bro,
Yeah, like I remember. My mom telling me the story about like when I was 4 over at the Walmart in High Point. There was this little arcade thing, and I went on there once. And every time we would go to Walmart, like I would have a temper tantrum. There was one day I had like the worst temper tantrum, just because I wanted to go on a ride in the little arcade thing, and I didn't go. And my mom got so tired of it and fed up with it, she took me to the bathroom and whooped my and I think she like I think she gave me a spanking, or like she caught my hand or something. She did some sort of discipline on me, but I stopped.
wait,
And
wow. I like how we're using this like analogy of a kid having a
yeah,
temper tantrum and people right now today. So I wouldn't say our government is like our parents, but in a way
they're
they restrict us from doing things like our parents.
right.
But um the only difference between our government and our parents is that our parents really love us. Our government, you
Doesn't
can
really. They just want our votes.
it's a government. There's multiple people. How can they love like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you just have the word government and it's the people that make it and it's like you
they
know,
they're the
like
people that
stepping stones and then you have this one person that makes all the decisions. Um it's kind of hard cuz a government, yes, within that government they have families and families and they love their families and all this and that and everybody has lives, but it's just so it's different cuz it's how it runs our country.
yeah. I see it as like I know some government leaders do care. I know some they have to have there's got to be some that do care. But in
Yeah.
actuality, most of the government is corrupt, and they just want our votes. They just want our
Yeah.
votes. They just want to give the right
But
message.
why
They
do you
want to say
think the
the right
government's
words.
corrupt? Is
I
it
think
just like because of people, natural human being, like
that
uh,
and
not imperfection? Like
I think
humans are they naturally evil? Some people think yeah, some people think no, but really,
I think
we are human beings and we do things for a reason. We don't do things for just no reason. You know what I mean? There
yeah,
has to be some sort of thing in our head that makes us think we'll benefit from something.
yeah, there's always one incentive, and I think every human has their own evil, right?
Yeah.
Like humans aren't naturally
We
evil.
have
They
our
just
own
have their
downfall,
own. Yeah, they just have their own unique evil. They have their own unique um wants and needs and desires that like drive them
Yeah.
to
But what
do
would you
certain
say is
things.
evil though?
Evil as in like what's it called?
Like, would you
Manipulating
say
others.
you're evil because you're
My
human?
evil,
What is your unique evil?
my unique evil, I think, is always wanting to be right.
No,
Because
I don't think that's evil.
no, I think it's evil because it because I've been working on this for a while. That's why I'm so good at listening listening more than anything. Cause like I remember back in elementary school and middle school, like yeah, I was a quiet kid, but when I talked and when I was like when to answer something, I wanted to be right. But when I was wrong, I
Who
would be
doesn't
like
want to be right? You know what I mean?
right. But like for me, it was like a make or break type of thing, and it just like and that feeling of like I wouldn't say worthlessness, but like stupidity. Like how I like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I feel so stupid, just like enhanced with that sixth grade teacher. But like
Yeah.
I would like feel so bad, right? I would feel so bad because like I was quote unquote the smart kid in the class, but I was like super quiet. So it was like if I was wrong, I would not talk at all for like the rest of the
Mhm.
class because like I felt so stupid. I felt like every other answer that I give is now going to be wrong. And
See, and that's not right for the teacher to do that. And she
I
made you
mean,
feel that. I don't think that's your evil though. Like, if you think of evil, I think of freaking like Hitler. That are you saying that evil is like that?
I would say
Because imperfection is very different from evil.
I would think that evil is something that um yeah,
Because look,
I would
I think it's free will that screws things up.
now you're getting somewhere. Now we're getting
Free, like,
somewhere.
you know, we have our free will. Like, I can raise my kid to be like the best kid ever, to respect his parents, to do this, but when he's out of my house, he has his free will to do whatever he wants. What I teach him, he can only take so far into consideration, but then when he's out in the real world, you know, he can do whatever he wants with his free will.
Yeah.
Like our parents, they raised us, and I can I can listen to my mom. I don't have to listen to my mom, but I so far, you know, it's like I have listened to her, taken her advice, my parents, because they've lived a longer life than me, and I'm just gonna you know, like kind of like live life and try to be a you know the best person, the good person that you are like meant to be.
Yeah. Um
But then you have people like it's like what is in their head? What is in their mind? What makes them want to do this? You know? What makes a racist person racist? Like why but the thing is why are they being racist? Like
I feel
what is if it's a race thing, like this is how you're raised, or is this do you automatically start to be racist? Like could I possibly one day next sleep and then be racist, or can I
no.
just you know?
I feel like it's a I feel like nowadays it's more so like a thing that you're taught
Yeah,
because it's gone on for so long, for like centuries upon centuries upon centuries. Like I feel it's something that you're taught and you're
yeah,
grown into. Because when you're a kid, you kind of believe everything that you're told.
yeah.
You're practically told to believe everything that you're told, and you're taught
So
everything.
now,
So
if you
it's
tell a racist person stop being racist, are they gonna stop?
no,
So if okay, now yeah, look, listen to that. Now, if you tell the police stop being racist, are they gonna stop?
they're gonna probably look at you like, bro, I'm not racist, or get back, or I will
But even if he
hit you.
was racist, like, you can't change that person.
I
And
feel
then even but like you probably can. Like, look, I think there's a video on YouTube about this guy. He was racist, and then he was friends with a black woman, and then he changed his whole. He took his KKK tattoos off. He did this. He did that. That's nice, but she wasn't forcing him. You know, you
that
can't
was
just
his
force
choice.
it. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
just
like
force it either.
I feel like it's more so of a thing that's like needed to be like I feel like people that are racist,
Simple
right?
kindness. Like if you
Yeah,
just are kind, if we change who we are, like everybody, like little by little, and like literally, if every single person in the world started doing that, it's like you'll see things differently. You'd be like, wow,
exactly. Like,
it
oh, the
it really
stereotypes
is.
aren't true.
Yeah,
Those boundaries, those country made boundaries won't actually be there
right.
anymore.
Then this people won't be surprised that, oh, this person from this race did this for me. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so rare. Like what? Now
And
it's, you know,
yeah, and then when you are like, oh, you feel like
because you
dating
always had
someone.
this image in your mind like that they were gonna be like that.
Yeah, like let's say like you start to feel feelings for someone, right? That question of what are they won't be as won't be needed.
Yeah.
And it never was needed. It never was needed. I never liked the question of like, oh, what is she? When I like someone, like when I'm like mad crushing on someone, it's like, oh, what is she? Is she white? Is she
Like for
black or
me,
blah blah blah?
yeah, like I don't really ask what's one person's ethnicity or race. I kind of just like appreciate them for who they are. But you
Exact
know, later
same.
down the line, it's like you're interested. Like you want to
Yeah.
get to know them more. What is your background? What is your ethnicity? You know, what is your culture like? Like I'm really like into that stuff, getting to know you, because you know you connect as human
Yeah.
beings,
And
getting
it's
to
not
learn more.
yeah, and like when you first get to meet someone, that
You
shouldn't be the
appreciate
first question.
it.
Yeah. That shouldn't be like the first question you ask cuz that's like kind of judgmental. You know, it's like
Yeah, right. It's like, hey, hold on. Are you black? Like, I know your skin color is black, but are you black? Cause I don't, I don't like black people. It's like, what?
yeah. It's like if I were to if we were to meet each other for the first time again, if this like was if we like restarted time when we met the first time again, if I were to ask, "Hey, are you Mexican?" That would be so out of
Oh my
line.
gosh, bro. You don't know
That
how many like times, especially elementary school, because they're a bunch of ignorant kids. They don't really know.
yeah.
Middle school or elementary. I don't think middle thought so much, but like elementary, middle school, a lot of the kids were like more open. I wouldn't say open-minded, but more
Open mouth.
aware. Yeah. Um, but it's kind of funny because it's like every brown person with dark hair or dark
Straight hair.
skin, a little bit of darker skinned, brown hair, darkish brown. Like it's like okay, brown skin, dark hair. You gotta be a Mexican. You're Mexican. That's all you are. And you're
Yeah.
Mexican. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Like
Bro, there's so many people that fall into that category that
exactly.
aren't Mexican, you
Exactly.
know? Like, bro, what if I called you Mexican? Like,
I've
what?
been called a Mexican.
What in the world?
I've been called a Mexican.
Why?
Because of my hair and my skin color.
See, now that's not right.
Um, and I just laughed about it. And then like I remember when I came to Heritage, I was like, oh, you could pass as Dominican. I'm like,
Yeah.
bruh. Like it's and I remember in elementary school when my mom picked me up and like my friend saw my mom was like, "Oh, that's your mom?" As
My
like
what?
as cuz
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's your mom?" Like, yeah. And thinking about it now, I feel like it was like a question as to like if that could actually happen. If I could actually be born of a mom that looks white when when she's biracial instead. It's and then my uncle, he's half white and half Iranian. Um, so like when we went to Baltimore to when me and my brother and sister went to Baltimore to meet him, he picked us up from he drove down from Baltimore to pick us up from school, and we went to Baltimore straight up. Um, walking the streets of Baltimore, you could see like the eyes of these people, black and white, just like looking at him and us, and it was like, oh, um, are they adopted? Are you are you a foster parent? I looked at these eyes. I'm like, I bet this is what's going on in their heads. Like, what even is going on? What, who
Yeah.
are these kids, right? Because yeah, it's like I said a couple days ago that one night. Just like go out, right, and you go to the store, and you see how many people just look down, and they don't look at each other at all. They may glance, but as soon as as soon as they make eye contact, they quickly look the other way, because either they're gonna get judged, or they're gonna get like what's it called, accused as a stalker, or like a pedo, or some weird person that's trying to hurt them in some weird way. It's 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 our it's our society, man. It's man, it's I don't even know what to say about that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
But next question.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Let's see here. Um, what do you say to people who say all lives matter?
All right. So I don't know what the problem is. Like, I don't really know what the All Lives Matter movement is. I'm assuming that's saying all lives matter.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have a problem with all lives matter because it's from people that think that um, Black Lives Matter protesters are just saying only Black Lives Matter. They're assuming that's what they're saying. Black Lives Matter doesn't mean only Black Lives Matter. They're saying
No.
yeah, they of course, you know, Black Lives Matter doesn't. Yeah, they're
Hold
saying
on.
yeah, we
Let me just tell you this. Let me tell you this.
okay,
So if we're talking about colorism, right?
right,
And the worst of the worst is, let's say, the darkest skin ever. Yeah, that person's black. And let's say you got lighter skin, and like you got a scale, right?
right,
If the police accept Black Lives Matter, of course, like let's say for government or anybody, if people, yeah, all Black Lives Matter, if they are accepted, pretty much everybody else would be accepted.
yeah,
Because if the darker skinned is the worst, then think about the other shades of skin there are, you know?
yeah. It's like taking down the base of a tower.
Yeah,
That's a that's a
exactly. It's
that's
almost
yeah,
like in a video game. Like if you have all these levels trying to defeat the boss, but if you can defeat like the straight up like the worst boss, then all the other bosses don't matter. That's a bad analogy, but like let me think of some other
you,
things, you
you
know?
or like in Fortnite. This is a good example. You take the base of a sky tower. The rest is coming down.
Yeah, exactly. You take the base of a sky tower, everything else is gonna come down. Yeah.
Yeah, including the noob
Yeah.
sniper. But anyways,
Yeah.
but like people are assuming that like Black Lives Matter protesters are only protesting for Black lives when that's not true.
Yeah.
They're protesting for the fact that black people have been a target towards racism, the main target towards racism for centuries,
Bro, yeah.
300 years plus of
Yeah.
racism, right? In America alone.
Yeah.
And they're protesting against it. They're protesting against the systematic racism in our country that's been built in our government. Right? It's not the system is broken. It's always been that way. It's been that way for years. And I will say again,
Yeah.
centuries. Um, so yeah, they're not saying only Black Lives Matter. They say like yeah, they mean every other life of a person of color, but they're addressing, the injustices of black people. And people are angry about like people saying all lives matter because it diminishes the purpose of what Black Lives Matter is supposed to represent. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like I,
So I was gonna say, just by hearing all lives matter, not, cause when I hear all lives matter, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, all lives matter. Of
exactly.
course. Why? Why are you gonna say no? Like, all lives matter. It's not like we're all different, you know?
Yeah,
Like, every life is precious. Like, why would there be a scale to, whatever?
yeah,
A scale to, like, your skin color to, oh, this is the least favorite, this is the favorite, that one deserves to live, that one doesn't, just because, I say it and I feel like it, and because that person, since they're, that color, they're irrelevant. We don't need them. Let's kill them off. It's like, what?
yeah,
Like, for real, everybody's the same.
right.
I like to think of it as we are human beings living on this earth. I'm a human being just like you.
Yeah,
Now, it shouldn't really matter about any of this stuff. But some people, I mean, we could talk about this all day, but some people are not going to change. They're just going to change their mind. They don't. It's like a skin color doesn't make you an animal any less human.
yeah,
And you don't know what? It was kind of bad because back then it was like, yeah, your skin color made you less human. That's why
right.
they treated them so bad. That's why they were like, oh yeah, we don't see them as like human. Like,
They
bro,
were.
you have a 3/5 compromise.
That's
Like,
what I was about to say
brother,
that. I was about to say
brother,
that.
how am I? How am I? That like,
What's
stop
the other
it.
2/5?
Right? Right?
Yeah,
So I'm part of a human. How is that?
yeah. What's the other part of me? Gorilla?
How am I a
Monkey?
part of a human?
What?
Like,
Cow?
we all have the same system. Like,
Right.
we have our digestive system. We have the same. Like, we're built
We bleed
exactly
the
the
same.
same. We bleed exactly the same. We love exactly the same.
We may not think exactly
Brother!
the same.
that
um,
that right there, that's what makes us human.
yeah. And it's like
And
this
for you to
analogy.
say like, oh, we are not the same. I mean, yeah, we may not be treated the same, but we are definitely the same.
Yeah, it's like
Most definitely. You best be know it.
most deaf. But like it's like this analogy that I heard this one streamer said. It's like, let's say you broke your leg, right? You go to the doctor. It's like, bro, my leg is broken, right? It's like, no, and the doctor's like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna check your arm, check your other legs. All bones matter. Like, bro, my freaking leg is broken. It's in pain. That's more. That's in more damage than the rest of my body. Please address that.
Yeah.
That's the main that's that's the main reason why like people are getting mad about this all lives matter crap. Is like, dude, we know all lives matter. They know all lives matter. They legit say, yeah, all lives matter.
So why they make it all lives matter?
To Because they think that like I said, like it
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, all lives do matter, but is that like necessary? Like
it's not necessary. They're trying. It's like diminishing the purpose of what Black Lives Matter is supposed to be. It's
Oh,
addressing.
now I see what it is. It's like Black Lives Matter, and then you have the person in the corner. No, all lives matter.
Yeah.
All lives matter. It's like what?
It's like you're not seeing
We
the big
know.
picture. Yeah, it's like they're not seeing the
But
big
if you
picture
can
here.
accept Black lives, look at all these other lives.
Yeah.
No doubt they're gonna be accepted.
Yeah.
We just took the boss down. Now everybody's accepted.
Exactly. And the main boss is, having some decent decent treatment towards black people, because they are burned, metaphorically speaking, burned a lot, burned the most due to this.
Yeah, yeah.
So once we finally after 300 years plus, solve that, everything will come crashing down, and it's gonna be a paradise, baby. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, boy.
What's the next question?
All right, next question is, what do you say to people who want to say there are good cops? Hashtag Blue Lives Matter. I mean, we're both on this kind of like, there are good cops out there.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. I was looking at my phone. I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. I said, what do you say to people who want to say there are good cops? Hashtag Blue Lives Matter.
Oh my gosh, why are they all these lives matter? Like, bro, just stop with the. Why do they have to make all this up? So, like, yes, all lives matter, but wouldn't all lives fall into blue lives if it's all lives? Every living human being, including cops. Cops breathe. Are cops not humans? Huh? Why is that even a thing? Blue lives matter. Like, is blue alive? What the heck is blue? Is blue breathing? No, blue is not a life. Humans are lives. Human lives matter. That should be a thing. Human lives. Human lives matter. No matter what color you are, where you came from, what gender you are. Bro, and leave the jobs out of this. Leave the jobs out of this. Just you. Strip everything away. What your job is. I don't care what your job is. Now, if your job is something inappropriate, like let's see. What's an appropriate job?
An inappropriate
Freaking human trafficking,
trafficking.
doing all this stuff. Like,
Drug dealer?
okay, yeah, but I'm talking about drug dealers. They can always drop the drugs, and you just see the person there. But I'm talking about a job where you're willing to do, but it's horrible. Like,
Oh, yeah,
human
like
trafficking. Yeah, human trafficking. Like, I mean, all lives matter, but like if you're human trafficking in that job and you strip that away from you, that's still gonna be part of that person. Is like, why would you accept a job like that? Anyways, to the point. Yeah, all lives matter, no matter what job. Only some. I mean, I would say no matter what job, but hopefully there are no bad jobs out there that you know. Not saying their life doesn't matter because all life is precious, but you know that would make me change my mind about you. But still, human lives matter. Why we're all human, right?
Right.
Right? Why don't we just have human lives matter and all just be peaceful to each other? Like, you know, why we gotta divide ourselves? What the heck, blue lives, all lives? Now I definitely get black lives, but it's when I see Black Lives Matter, I definitely think. With the Black Lives Matter, it's like, when I think of black lives, I think of black, and black comes in all sorts of shades and shapes. Obviously, they're not people that are very, very, very light, or not light, but just white in general.
Yeah.
But, thinking if they could accept Black Lives Matter, then it would probably, because it's always been a white versus black thing, like, ever since back then,
black
you
and
know?
white. These problems have been in black and white
It's always been black and white, yeah. And that's horrible. Like, you know how people say, oh, it's straight, plain black and white. It's clear to you, you're either this side or that side. Like, when you are, like, mixed, biracial, triracial, quadruple racial, I'm just kidding. but still, yeah, multicultural, whatever. It's like, you start to think, where am I in this? Where am I? But no, you are alive too, you know?
Yeah.
We could there's so many people that experience different things, but just because you're living in the skin that you are in. But like, most importantly, why it shouldn't matter, because all human life, matters.
Yeah.
Oh, Blue Lives Matter. You know what they've done for us? They've been trying to protect us for so long, and you over here are trying to tear them down? Bro. We know they're human beings. Are you saying police officers deserve a better life than us? Like, brother, I don't care who you are and what you is. Really, I don't care. You just got to treat everybody with respect.
Like,
and not show that racism. Like, there is favoritism, there is this, there's preference, but like, you're not, if you're not just like, if you're just don't. If you're not a threat to anybody, and you are just generally a good person, you're just not seeing all, this is not, it shouldn't be a problem, you know?
Yeah.
Why do we have to be so divided with our race? You know?
Yeah.
Everybody's beautiful. That's like, what? No! No!
No!
Wait, let me get my controller. No! Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Yeah, so like,
bro, like, are you, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
are you
like,
saying
like,
blue is not a thing?
like
Blue. They're humans. How are you gonna say? Okay. You're gonna say blue. Blue. I mean, you can mix black with blue. Like, what if there's a black man as a police officer? What is he? Bloob? Bloob? What is he?
He's blue.
I get you. You have all these yellow lives matter, purple lives matter, blue like, are they gonna just start like a chain? Like, are they just gonna start like, it's like, what the heck? No. Human life matters.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Human life matters. That should be the thing. Human life matters. Human life, including black lives, including any single life. I was gonna say white lives, but yes. Like, there's people that are being killed, not only just because of their race, but also for what they believe in, you know?
Right.
You have people of different religions that are being killed. You have people of anything that are being killed. So, like, really, it shouldn't matter. Black, blue, yellow, white, light, green, gray, just all those lives matter. Now, I'm not saying... Now, of course, your occupation does not define you. Like, what your job is.
That's what I'm about to
so,
say,
like... So, yeah. So, like, hold on. Why does it have to be blue lives? Like, blue lives as in cop lives? Like...
Yeah.
Just say they're humans. Why do you need? That's like saying all chefs, their lives matter, bro. Every single person in their every single person in their mama's a chef, bro. Like if they can't, if they're crappy at making a sandwich, they can at least make a PB&J. Like, don't say no to that. They can at least make a PB&J. They don't even have to make it. They can find a piece of apple on the ground, and you're a chef. You cut it into pieces and eat it. Like,
we got microwaves.
Dude. Chef lives matter. Bro, do you know who those chefs are? They're humans. They're people, all different colors. So why do you need to make an occupation of life? Like, a police officer, yeah, is a human being. But if you just take the title police officer and strip it away, then the police part is dead. The police does not exist. Just think deep. Now think deep into your head. Just think really, really deep. That's a person right there. You can put a stamp on their forehead and say whatever they are, but like, that's just what's on their forehead right there. That's just what they're wearing. If you just rip everything from everybody's a human. Everybody has a family. I don't want to say that, but technically everybody does have a family. Everybody has something that they care about. Care about. If you're gonna be like, no, I don't care about anything. Oh, I don't care about these people that are just, then you know, you have those people that need help too. So
Sorry.
really, just everybody with respect. If it sounds so easy, but it seems like it's not, because everybody is just looking what's that title like on their forehead, right? It's
Right.
like, bro, but you're this, you don't understand me. But you're that, you don't understand me. But you have other people that are like, yeah, I don't have this and I'm not that, but I want to understand. And if you're not willing to let them understand you, they're never going to understand.
Right.
So why are you blocking them away? Oh, you don't understand me. Oh, let me understand. No, because you don't understand me. Like, what?
Like, I'm pretty sure
No!
these police officers.
You gotta
want to
like if they're willing to help you and let you know, it's like, yes, come on, we all gotta be in this together.
Exactly. It's
Like we're living every day in our lives like this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, you're good. I was just like wanting to say that like you said, you can't make an occupation a life, right? It's this is kind of
An
ridiculous.
occupation isn't a life.
You're not born a police officer. You're not born with like a badge attached to your
Yeah,
skin.
right.
Like, oh, you're arrested for violating a police officer because I'm born. You're holding me. I don't want you to hold me. I want my mom to hold me. Type of crap, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Being a cop isn't life. Isn't your life. It's not your life. You can retire at some point. You could die as a police officer. You could die as a freaking whatever job, right? Sorry to be like insensitive to that, but that's legit. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure like some of these police officers want to understand these protesters, but like some of these protesters are over here like throwing out, you know, every other curse word they can at these police officers that more than likely did not cause this. Right?
And just thinking about it, you know, these police officers are people too. They have a life. Just strip away the police and you could say they're nothing. But strip away the police, they're what's left of them is just a regular human being, right?
Yeah.
Living every day, them off the job. They have their in their own right mind with nobody controlling them. Nobody's controlling them. Rip away everything. What their occupation is. They're just like us. Seriously,
Yeah.
you have families, just like teachers. I used to think like teachers, man, they are teachers. If I see them outside in public, they're still my teacher.
Yeah.
But no, they actually are people with lives. And so
Right.
once I started to understand that, it's like, man, teachers, I used to think were not the bad guys, but in a way it's like, okay, that's their professional job. I define them as a teacher. But once you start to really know them, it's like you can develop a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can control you within the school, but
To a degree.
once you really understand, like, they have families and they are humans too.
Yeah.
Like one of the teachers, they told me I reminded them of their not her daughter, but like nephew, niece, her niece. I said nephew. Yeah, bro, I'm a man. I'm kidding. I reminded her of her niece, and I was like, oh wow, that's nice. And for her to connect me to a part of her family was like, that's cute and that's cool, but it's almost like you have that, just like that relationship where you're feeling comfortable enough to compare someone to your niece or something, you know?
Like our Spanish
Like if I
teacher.
had someone compared, I'm like, oh wow, you're just like my brother. It's like if I see my brother in that person, I mean, obviously they're not really my brother, but it's like I compared you to a part of my family, and that just lets you know, like, I am human, and what I see, your characteristics, and within you, it reminds me of some part of my family, and it's like it's heartwarming and it's felt, you know?
Yeah. Like for example, like our Spanish teacher, like when we actually got to sit down and talk with them, and like we had fun, right? He was, of course we knew he was really silly, but like others like, oh my gosh, he's so strict, he doesn't teach, oh my gosh, he's so hard, but when you actually talk to him, he's very understanding. He's very, in tuned with how you're feeling. He understands that you don't, understand Spanish as fast. That's you're not supposed to know another language in like light speed, but you can try.
Yeah.
You can try, and that's all that matters, right? He's more than just the Spanish teacher, you know. He's cool. He's awesome. He's a human being. And once we actually start sitting
Yeah.
down and talking to each other, like I said, showing empathy, showing that we care for each other's points, we'll actually start to listen to each other rather than just yell like curses towards one another, thinking that that's going to solve the problem, which it won't. It never will, never would, and it's just going to continuously grow worse if we continue that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
so
that was funny.
yeah.
Not that part, but the
Blue
blue lives. Blue exist.
I was not ready for that. I was like getting ready to do like my speech of how stupid that sounds, but nah, you're fine. You hit it all.
My bad.
You lost
Alright,
your
is there
mind.
anything that's next?
Okay, so what's next is anything you would like to say, but the one afterwards is, what do you say to people choosing to stay neutral? I think we should tackle the one with neutral first, and then
Oh, what do we say to people who are choosing to stay neutral?
yeah,
So, just saying, no one is really neutral. Like, you could label me as neutral, but I'm not neutral, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Because you can label someone as neutral if they're not doing nothing about it, you know?
yeah,
And there's just I don't think there is a neutral. You can view the situation, but in your head you know what's right and what's wrong. So, like I said, this is a fight between like two sides, and for me those two sides don't really exist. I just see people fighting.
yeah,
People fighting. People with families, people who have been hurt, either side. Like, you don't know their experiences, really.
right,
These are just human beings. One is doing a job and could feel and could think totally different, and it could agree with you no more no less, like you just have these people, two different groups. And within like our whole world, yes, you have those quote unquote saying bad people or racist people. Then you actually have genuinely good people, and when that's in the mix of everything, it's like, okay, it's kind of hard to believe who's with which, because you can't just define a whole group because of these small little, picks of people on each side.
yeah,
Yeah, you have people in Black Lives Matter, or people with anything, just going to these riots or protests. Some of them, you don't even know if they're racist. You don't even know they're supposed to be there. You don't even know if they're just there just to watch. You don't know if they're there just for entertainment.
yeah,
Just there for the clout. Just there to be like, oh, bro, I just came to one of these. It's crazy, bro. Like,
yeah,
you don't know. And then for the cops on the other side, they're just like those people, except they're just wearing a uniform.
right.
And whatever the reason is within them, like if they're there and they are racist, or if they're there, cops come in all different colors and forms. Like, they're human too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they work under like a corrupt government. Yeah, sometimes they can't do anything about it, but they're humans, so they have their own free will. They have their choice what they want to do and how they want to do it. You can't really control someone who doesn't want to change. You can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped.
Yeah.
So, like, neutral, I don't think there's really a neutral. It's like, I see this happening. Do you agree with it or not? I see this happening. Because everyone's different. There are so many reasons or multiple sides, but right here it's like people want you to think there's like a line right here. There's black and blue, basically. Black and blue. I'm like, black and blue. This black and blue. Really, and in the Black Lives Matter is not all Black lives. I mean, there's different colored people everywhere in that group that want to support. But having some people are just saying that they're neutral because they don't want to add to the violence. They don't want to be a part of that. Or some people don't want the cop side either, and they think they're all that, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I'm honestly, if I choose a side, people are gonna hate me regardless. It's like,
because of the stigma.
Because exactly. If I'm this side, then those people hate me. If I'm on that side, then those people will hate me.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you what I believe in, what I share.
Right.
But it's like, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna be shielded
picking a side where it's like, to the point where that defines who I am, because a side does not define who I am.
Yeah, because like the thing is like it's like you choose one side and you're accused for starting riots when that's a whole new story, or you choose another side and you're accused of being racist. It's like, I think it's like how you were talking about talking to your friends, like it's all about logic. Right? Like, you got to think about this logically. Like I said in my post, you got to use your brain.
Yeah.
You got to think about these things. You got to think before you act. Right? You got to think before you actually start, deciding how you believe about what you believe and how you believe about a certain situation. Regardless of how long this has been happening, there are still people that are like still, trying to answer that question for themselves. How do I feel about this? All right.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I don't like the fact that these people are being, oppressed all the time. But then again, I don't like how, some people are making them look bad, and they're claiming to be.
There's like so many there's pros and then there's so many cons. It's like,
yeah, for
bro,
both sides.
There's these people doing this. I totally don't support it, and it's like, oh, but then you have these cops doing this, and it's like, yeah, I totally don't support that either. And then it's like a jumble of like, no matter what side you pick, there's always gonna be that like you said, there's that stigma.
Yeah, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like
yeah, and like what I want to see, I'm trying to remove that rock, see everybody's situation,
Yeah.
And really, to get to the bottom of it, what I see is like, some cops stripping that uniform away, seeing what's deep inside them, other than that occupation. They're people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't trust cops, but I trust people.
Yeah.
Like Blue Lives, I don't trust Blue.
Yeah.
I don't trust Blue. Blue is the government.
Yeah.
Blue could literally ruin your life, but if it's not blue and it's just life, it matters.
Right.
If it's just a human being, yes, all human beings matter.
Right.
It's just kind of iffy because, police do work for a corrupt government, and
yeah, and
I just can't. I can't trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, we can respect them. They're human beings. Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
But as soon as like, I just try to stay away from that.
Right.
Stay away from those cops. I'm like, okay, I live in my life. I'm doing good. I don't need any. Because like I said, police have like a bad connotation to it.
Yeah.
When you see the police, you're like, oh, nothing good's happening. Nothing is good is gonna be happening.
And
You know,
you
it's
don't
gotta
know
be
what's
something
gonna
bad.
happen, whether or not.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what's gonna happen, regardless of you, following orders.
Yep.
You never know.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Goodbye.
Right.
Are we
Or-
gonna end this? Cause I'm about to go outside.
Oh yeah, sure. So
Sorry.
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Is there anything we would want to like address, like brief or whatever, before we end this?
Oh, do you want to say anything first?
Sure. So, as you've seen, like the main point of us doing this, talking about this topic in our podcast today, is because of the fact that there's so many divided viewpoints, and there's so many sides, and there's so many misunderstandings and misconceptions, and people basically not listening. And we want to clear that, and inform people and educate as much as we can, as well as bring awareness to the situation here. You know, Black Lives Matter, and that doesn't mean that, only Black Lives Matter. Of course, every person matters. We're human beings. And strip all of your occupations away. Like, you got a human. You got a person that needs to be cared for, that matters. And, we don't trust police because they, work for the government, and the government can screw your life up forever. And we have to respect them regardless. But, burning down things, yes, the government can't not see that, but that doesn't make it right. It just creates more havoc in it, and you're burning down your own home. And with this pandemic, like once you're burning down your own home, what do you have left? You don't have anything left. You're homeless. You have nothing. So that's what I have to say. You?
Nice.
Thank you.
Do I share?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Where should I start? Yeah. Like, just one thing before I go. Just want you to go home and just say I love you to all the people that you love. Your friends, your family, and really, if you could show that love to your family, you can at least show that to other families that are literally walking on this earth. Not like showing prejudice to anybody else, because who you are talking to, just in life in general, you are talking either to like a brother, a sister, a mother, an aunt, an uncle, and we could be affecting it just by like doing whatever, like doing whatever. Really, we are now a part of their lives. We might see them for like a split second, but you know what? In that second, in that time, in history, we were there when they were there. Like, it's just crazy, because if you think about it, you have time, place, all that. You have the right time, the right place, the right moment, and you're gonna see people living their lives, and you're living yours. So what you do can affect what's happening, and just kind of take that all in. And that's why I try to do like the best I can to enjoy life in general. And once you enjoy life, and you're affecting other people's lives, good or bad, like, just if we can do it for the good, then just imagine that being returned back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why, like, just simple acts of kindness, it really is important. Because if someone did that to me, yeah, I have a brother, I have a mother, I have all these important people in my life, and you to do it to a stranger, simple act of kindness to me, I truly appreciate that. Because, yeah, we all have one thing in related. We all bleed the same. We all have the same body parts and organs. Maybe, I mean, like, now I don't want to say that because people are like, oh, but what if I don't have a body? Like, let's just, in general, we are all made, like
Yeah.
in God's image. That's what I saw in one of the Black Lives protest signs that they had, made in God's image. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do, yeah. We all bleed the same. We cry, we have emotions. Blood, sweat, and tears into everything that we do and what we love. And, you know, you're not the only one living in this world, in this earth.
Yeah.
So really, just if we show these acts of kindness, like, really, it's just a beautiful thing to see. Like, the police, even the police, to do something like that. See how that's affecting us in general? It's like some people think, man, the police are horrible, the police are that. And then once I saw the police even help, kneel, stand, be within these marches, you have like a switch flip within you, and you're like, wow, that actually happens. That can happen. Because he's a human too, and he just made that change within your life to help you. And now you can do the same.
Right. It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
So, that being said, well, first off, I love you for.
Hey, I love you too, bro.
um,
I'm gonna go play some basketball.
So we appreciate you, listening to this podcast. There will be more later on. What is it? We're doing this like once a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like once a week.
Yeah.
We'll have one. Maybe a different topic or whatnot. Maybe a continuation. But we enjoy and appreciate you for listening, and watching and understanding our viewpoints, whether you agree with them or not. And we hope you have a great day. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, see you, bro. Bye.